Welcome back to Balan Wonderworld, and we are back at the Isle of Tims. Yay!
Yay!
And now it's time for
Bye, Tims.
And now it's time for Chapter 3.
Have you ever actually met anyone called Tim in this game?
Tim the Enchanter from Holy Grail? I don't know. Chapter 3.
Game.
Chapter 3. The girl who's gaga for bugs.
Okay, this level actually does try to fit in with the theming a bit better, seeing as how it's a girl's gaga for bugs, and to the giant versions of her, we are the size of bugs.
Oh yeah,
so
technically.
follow us around with
Well, yeah. Technically, the previous world did that too. Again, the problem is the lack of the fucking intro cutscene at the beginning of this. That doesn't explain to us why bugs.
I'd argue that Chapter 2 doesn't even really explain it level-wise as well. Like, it's just a girl sitting around. She's the diver. And dead.
There you go. That's what happens when you die. Fortunately, and surprisingly, the game does not have a life system. You just go back to the last checkpoint. Fortunately.
God.
So there you are, guys. Yuji Naka does have a part of him out of the 1990s.
The lovely lantern outfit.
Which has quite an...
What does it do?
But
it lights dark areas. That's it.
Are there ever any dark areas in this game?
Yes, in this level even specifically. Only in this chapter, though.
It's. I think it's used to get some balance statues.
Yes. I already have all the statues for this chapter at the time of this recording.
Now, don't get me wrong. Specific costumes can still be fun, provided you make them fun. This is not fun. This is tedious. What the hell?
It's because all it does is jump and light the dark areas. That's it. Like a lot of it's a very specific outfit for very specific circumstances, and that's it. Aside from that, it's completely unremarkable.
Anyway, the reason I find this level a bit better themed than the Chapter 2's level is essentially like, okay, we're seeing the diver sit around, but there's nothing pertaining to the dolphin in it. Like, at least here, we see stuff that's based off of bugs here and there. And again, we're to the giant version of the girl, when she follows us with her eyes, we are the size of a bug. So it feels like it's better themed here than it was in Chapter 2.
Yeah. That reminds me, by the way, Shiroi. I said this to this, but might as well say you said everything. So see, Shiroi, after that whole thing with the dolphin, so there you go, Shiroi. Here's the moral of the story for you today. If a friend of yours kicks you in the back and nearly kills you, it's okay. Just dance away and then forgive the friend, and you'll be friends again. There you go. That's your lesson for today, Shiroi.
How about no?
But Shiroi, she loves the dolphin again, and now for some reason,
Jesus Christ! The giant girl scared me. Why are they so huge, Jova? Why?
Because they know you like giant women? ?
Well, that's an interesting proposition. I will not deny, but time and place, game, time and place.
Yeah, there are other games that cater to those who like giant women.
Okay. Here's one problem, Pedro. What time and what place? In fact, what even sense of urgency is there in the game? Like, okay, there's a sense of urgency in the novel, but as the game is presented, what is the point and purpose of what we, the characters, are doing? Like, here's the thing. For as much as we're helping other characters, how are we helping our main characters solve their problems?
Well, okay. I'm guessing Naka's trying to go for the Ni no Kuni 1 thing, where helping out other people helps yourself. Like, the happiness you find in helping others heals your own wounds. I'm guessing that's what he's going for, especially when you took a look at the ending scene. I'm guessing that's what they're going for, but again, just like we're doing with this game, nothing about it is conveyed in any way that makes sense. So
the problem is, like, well, in the novel, we actually did get to see what Leo's own world is. Okay, so might as well explain some more stuff from the novel here. Essentially, as I mentioned, the worlds here are the subjects sort of, well, trapped in their own little wonder worlds, or wonderlands if you prefer, where things are ideal and as they wish they could be, due to a tragedy or some problems befalling them here and there.
That's right. Sorry, Jova, I haven't explained the spider outfit yet. The spider outfit allows you to climb spider webs. That's it. That's all it does.
Cool.
Specifically marked spider webs.
Basically, if you see spider webs on the wall, that means you need the spider outfit to climb them. That's it. It does nothing else. Go on.
Oh, yes, Jova?
But okay, so the story in the novel is essentially this, that Lance originally presents himself as a good guy because Lance is a guy who really does like humans. So in order to keep humans here, he lulls them to stay in their beloved worlds here. Now, mind you, they can still interact with other humans. In fact, they all meet at a part of the game that we see at the very end of the game before they go into their own respective worlds here. Leo gets his own world here and there. You know, he sort of gets lulled into it. Then Balan and Emma come about here. Like I mentioned, Emma is not really as much a main character in the novel as you think she would be for being the other main playable character, and we get to know even less about her in the novel than we do in the game. It's kind of amazing.
I want to give credit to at least one thing. This is actually one of the better designed levels. I know that's not saying much for this game, but at the very least, it does make good use of the spider outfit, like where you have to go from these various moving platforms with the webs. That's like a that's
I like
a.
the music here too.
Like I said, the music in this game is really good. Yeah.
It also ties into like what I said
Oh,
about how
there you go, Shiroi.
theming.
The game heard your compliment and now it's throwing a party in your honor. There you go, Shiroi. See?
And like I said, one thing this chapter does better than other chapters is, you know, the theming and sort of giving you a better idea of what the story is. Granted, it would have been better if, you know, they showed us the intro cutscene beforehand, but this one does a much better job than a lot of other levels do while you're playing through the level. So yeah, level 3 is one of the better levels.
That's not saying much, but it's something, I guess.
Congratulations! Out of 12 levels, we finally have gotten to one that we can actually more thoroughly compliment. And even still, that's like... I'd say the best this game has is like, you know, the equivalent to the worst in a much better game.
I love the main theme of this game. But anyway, Shiro, you were talking about the giant women. Well, so basically, Shiro, what you're telling me is that Yuji Naka's favorite movie is Tall Girl, basically.
A tall girl says that it's terrible for a girl to be tall. Oh, until the very end.
That's probably the only. If that's true, he's probably the only person who for which Tall Girl is their favorite movie.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. There's probably a lot of preteen girls who probably will love these kinds of shitty, hacky romantic comedies and eat them up. So.
I thought that kind of film died after 2000.
No, Dwebs. Netflix is basically recovered it as basically its own subgenre right now. There's a shit ton. Check cynical reviews. Like he reviewed a shit ton of Netflix romantic comedies, basically.
Oh! It gets even better. You want to know a new form of movie that's been sprouting up on Netflix? The Wattpad films.
Mm-hmm. Let me explain this. This is actually one of my favorite gimmick/outfits in the game. Yeah, you can press these blocks and everything turns into a rave party of sorts, but the visual effect looks cool at least. Trust me, that's something rare in this game, so I will point it out. The point is, what happens when we turn everything dark? Well, eventually we'll get an outfit that will do that. But first, we have a new outfit right now. The Sickle Slinger. Basically, Shiroi.
Turns you into a slicer.
Yes, Shiroi. There you go, Shiroi. Now you can play as a slicer.
Or a mantis.
Yes. Basically. And there you go. That's what it does. See? It's a slicer. It's literally Sonic 2 slicer.
So you can't jump while using it.
So some call me Johnny played this game.
This will probably be his favorite outfit because now he gets to finally have the satisfaction of dishing out the punishment that a slicer usually offers. So there you go. There you go, Shiroi. Have you ever wanted to play as a slicer? This is your game.
Great.
Anyway,
I'm surprised no one's ever done a fan game like that. When you play as Eggman's minions and you try and take down Sonic.
That's a good point. How come nobody's ever made that? Huh.
Anyway, Shiroi, yes, I did not stutter. There are actually films that are being based off of scripts made in Wattpad on Netflix.
Oh, remember, Joe, but anything that serves as more content to put in, Netflix will accept it, which is weird considering they were very picky with what Matt and Brian were allowed to do with the Last Airbender remake series. and they've recently canceled a superhero show the week of its premiere. Don't get that. Netflix is starting to really have a personality disorder for some reason.
I think either that, or they're starting to feel the consequences of them just greenlighting everything they come across.
I guess.
Well, considering after they got blasted after that film.
Yeah, that movie I should not be. No, Cuties.
Oh, yes, that.
Cuties.
Oh, yeah. That's one. That film accompanies that very short list of films that also includes music. I'm actively refusing to watch.
Sure.
And before you ask, audience, he's referring to the movie called Music, not the genre music. No, the movie music.
Well, yeah,
there's
sure.
There's no way I'm bankrolling Sia and her shitty agenda.
All right, so
anyway,
we're actually about to get my favorite outfit of this world, actually, because I actually really like the concept. But hold on, give me a moment, because I actually
just to be real quick, in case some people think in case some people get the wrong idea, I'm autistic myself. So to see a movie like that's from a mainstream person, basically bastardizing everything, bastardizing the whole thing to just for her own personal gain, I'm like, no.
Sure, of course.
I'm refusing.
Of course.
Along with the racism that's
So
in
yeah,
that movie too.
so here's the Dusk Butterfly. The Dusk Butterfly allows you to basically fly for as long as this dark filter thingy doesn't level. So basically, when you click on these things to turn everything dark, make sure you're quick enough to get to the next platform because when the time is over and everything and the level goes back to normal, the butterfly will be unable to fly anymore. So
this is actually a pretty neat power-up.
yeah, and the level is actually designed with it in mind.
So here's my stance. Maybe if they had just focused on not having 80 different costumes, but just focused on making like 24 or so awesome ones, game could have been much better.
Quality over quantity, Nakasan. Quality over quantity.
So
Oh, look,
what's your
Lips!
favorite Oh,
It's the golf minigame. Let's see how boring and stupid it is.
I actually
Well, I
quite
like
like how this level looks.
But I like everybody's golf.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, this is nowhere near as fun as everybody's golf. Use the left analyzer to aim your shot and press X when the gauge reaches your preferred strength and send the ball. So basically, yeah, it plays pretty much like Mario Golf. There you go. That's basically this. Now let's try.
You could just go and play Mario Golf.
I could, but unfortunately, Shiroi, I'm playing this.
but sure, then we wouldn't have all this wonderful gameplay attached to Mario Golf.
Yeah, this is basically Mario Golf for babies. There you go.
I mean, honestly, this game as a whole is a big
Look how wide that hole is. Seriously, like.
I'm not even sure I would have enjoyed this as a kid, honestly.
But Shiroi,
No,
this
you
game was
wouldn't have.
designed for little kids, according to Naka. That's why you need only one button. Well, look at the bright side, Shiroi. Look at the bright side. If your X button breaks, you can still use square. If your square button breaks, you can still use triangle. See?
Let's break. I'll get a new controller.
But that you see, Tips, that way you can use the money you would use to buy the new controller in other things because every button does the same thing. So see, it's a very
Boring.
you see, Tips, it's a very cost-effective game. See?
So,
Yeah. So
But that
cost
doesn't solve
effective.
the problem.
So cost effective. It underperformed.
Yes, sure.
I mean, that solves the problem for this game, sure, but what about the other games that use multiple buttons that we now can't play because of our broken controller? Do we just play Balan Wonderworld forever?
Giant.
yes. Balan Wonderworld is the only game you will need. In your
Please stop
life, Shiroi.
staring at me.
Let it into your soul.
Why is the girl staring at me, Shiroi? Why?
Because you're a bug, and she was gaga for bugs.
Oh, great.
Of course.
So,
music is making
well,
me
sure, you might as well, since you talked about like probably wouldn't like this even if you were a kid. Let me ask, do you think, what would little Shiroi think of that giant glasses girl staring at her? Do you think little Shiroi would be scared?
Probably wouldn't have paid attention, really.
Ah, okay. But see, for me, it's just because it shows up out of nowhere. I'm walking, minding my own business in the game, suddenly, boom, giant girl! Like, seriously. It makes little...
When that happens.
Okay, I get it. It's a magical fantasy dream world, so of course it's supposed to be trippy and full of abstract and weird visuals. I get that. But there's a good way to do that and there's a bad way to do it. And this game is just a bit too random for its own good.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
There's a good job. It's a good job. It's a good job. No one actually talks really in this game because what do you think? I could just imagine her saying stuff like that, but because of how big she is, it'll just be this really loud, echoey voice. It'd be really scary. She could just basically say something like, "Hey there, do you want to play?" And then but it's so loud and echoey. You're like, ah.
The other one.
Say something more so on the lines of Ivetsa, Shivata,
Yeah, the fictional language.
Because basically that's the thing. Everyone speaks in Balinese in this game. You think it's Japanese? No, it's Balinese. It's a made-up language for this game.
The only one that has actual proper dialogue is Balan himself, and even then, his dialogue is only voiced in the ending cutscene. So most of his dialogue is actually text dialogue. So.
Sure would be a shame if there was a scene where they blatantly forgot to subtitle his dialogue, but they wouldn't be so amateur as to do that, I'm sure.
Okay, so that was chapter 3, Act 2. Now let's finally see why exactly is Creepy Glasses Girl about.
I mean, the subtitles aren't even that good anyway, but...
So there she was.
So basically, I'm gonna call bullshit on this particular storyline. Yeah, and apparently every kid at school thinks she's a freak because she likes bugs. No, I'm sorry.
Oh come on, please.
Most kids think bugs are cool, so that's not even.
Like as children, we went bug hunting for goodness sakes.
Well, Japanese children, more like. I don't think...
No, we did that here, too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely over here as well. It is definitely not exclusively a Japanese thing, let me tell you. Kids as in general love bugs. And, I could get maybe, she wanted to fit in with the other girls or whatnot, and maybe the idea would be that the boys were more into it, but no! Girls and boys alike apparently all hate bugs in her school.
Okay. Yeah, seriously, you're telling me that not a single person in her school, aside from her, likes bugs. I'm sorry, but I find
this is what I mean.
I find that unbelievable. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay,
same.
look. Normally I wouldn't complain, but this game's story, for what little it is, it clearly does want to be taken seriously, especially with the severity of some of the problems we do have to deal with. So it is weird where we go from cartoonishly, no, that wouldn't be worth in real life, sort of things to, again, more serious ones.
I'm worried about how they deal with the more serious ones.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Shiroi.
It all consists of beating people up and dancing with them, and that solves all mental problems in this game, except for the very, very, very last boss. But that is neither here nor there.
Anyway, defeat this boss. Just throw its balls back at it. That's basically it.
Again, remember, you have to find a way to beat it with 3 specific costumes if you want the balanced statue of this one.
That's a good point, yes, I haven't actually explained that yet. There's actually 3 different ways of hitting each boss. However, a lot of times the game doesn't really do a good enough job conveying what outfit might be necessary. I'm gonna explain later when we get some of the more obtuse bosses. But let's just say the game... Okay, now you're thinking, yeah, and you need the spider outfit right now. Well, actually no, because as you can see it's on the ground, so obviously it's not a climbable thing. For example, remember those stone pillars that fell earlier? Those stone pillars can be used to hurt the boss. How? By hitting them with the slicer weapon. Because
which you just lost because now you got another spider costume.
Yeah, because the game totally made it clear that those things are attackable by the slicer thing, right? Like up until this point, the game has only allowed me to attack enemies with it. Now, how am I supposed to know that those things can be attacked with this specific outfit? And this is another big problem I have with this game.
If it can be attacked by your jump, it can be attacked by your power-up, but yeah, it can be very cryptic.
But that's the thing, Jova, like, I can even jump on those pillars. So the thing is, okay, this is another big problem I have with this game. A lot of times, this game feels like the developers made the games just for themselves, because there's such a fundamental lack of conveyance in this game, to the point where a lot of times you'll be like, oh, okay, obviously, right? Why the hell took me so long to figure that out? It's, like, the game lacks conveyance in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of times you'll, like, for example, here's what you do. How about having those pillars be somewhat cracked? You know, that way I can, that way I know that there's something odd about them. But no, they all look the same. They don't really look like anything. They just look like obstacles I'm supposed to avoid.
On the one hand, though, the boss theme is pretty cool for this. Good use of accordion and all that.
Yes, exactly. The music is really good in this game. But here, to give you a basic idea, look at those pillars. Okay, now, question. Yes, you can attack them with your... yeah, I missed it, sorry.
If I recall correctly, if you're only in your kid form, you can jump on them, but you have to hit the weak point with your jump.
I do not know. The point is... Okay, let me put it this way. Okay, so I can attack those things with my slicer weapon. So why can't I attack those mushrooms in the center of the room? You see what I mean? Like, okay, I can attack those things, not the mushrooms though. Like, but there's no specific difference between the pillars and the mushrooms.
Oh, goody, we're about to get my favorite of the victory songs.
The game just arbitrarily picked that thing as the one thing that can be hit by the slicer thing. But anyway, yes.
Jesus, her hands are huge.
Yeah, her hands are fucking huge. Like,
Fucking hell.
Also, can I just point this out? This only really works if you're playing as Leo, because Leo was the one shown to be all into dancing. But if you're playing as Emma, I guess she can dance.
Maybe it's like, oh, we're in a dream world, so if we just imagine we can dance, we can dance.
Isn't this beautiful, Shiroi?
No, it's a little blurry.
no.
Look, everyone's dancing, having a good time, all in midair, and however that works.
I wish I was having a good time.
What, are you telling me that this good mood is not infectious to your very soul? You should feel, damn it, otherwise you're just a robot, a machine who does not know the true value.
Alright, so let's see.
I want to check out some of these songs in English.
So let's see how we solve this problem.
Oh, look,
symbolism!
From the web. Oh my god.
I don't know about you, Diz, but I just had a symbolism-gasm.
So, how does she get people to be interested in bugs?
She just shows at them.
No, the larva just became a butterfly, which look pretty, and therefore they're better.
And now they're into bugs.
So let me get this straight. The only bug you like is a butterfly? That's buggist.
Also, yeah, Balan occasionally shows up in cutscenes.
Yeah, Balan is the teacher of this class, apparently.
Thanks, weird pop happy.
Mavi, maybe this is his second job.
No,
Look!
guys,
Hold on, guys. Now we get to watch this cutscene again! Yes, I'm not kidding. Every time we expand the hub world, it's the exact same train cutscene copy-pasted. I'm not even kidding.
Also, guys, here's Balan's role in each level. My work here is done.
But you didn't do anything!
Exactly.
Bye!
That's basically it, yes. But don't you see, I was here teaching the class with this book. You just didn't see it because it was...
teacher.
If you were the teacher, why didn't you get the students to acknowledge that girl? Why do we have to beat her up?
But little did you know that I was the one that encouraged the students to check the butterfly. You just didn't see it because it was off screen.
Like, again, it's amazing. The game's flipping named after him, but Balan has so little agency in his own game.
I mean, if the game had a subtitle, you know, maybe taking away from him slightly, that probably would have made it a little better. Not much, but, you know.
Like, at least Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey tried to do
but
that
Shiroi,
with its weird subtitle.
But Shiroi, the bug girl has finally gotten some friends.
And we did it by beating her up and dancing away her mental problems.
Exactly. See, Shiroi?
Because therapy is expensive.
Yes.
Shiroi, who
Don't
needs
go-
therapy when you have the power of dance, love, and music wavering about you?
Exactly. Okay, so the moral that we learned
Stay
today.
on the wheel, you damn Tims.
So the lesson we learned today, I guess, is that if your friends don't like what you like, keep shoving it in their faces until they like it, and they'll eventually like it. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Thanks, Yujinaka.
I don't think she even shoved them in their faces though, because like I think this is the first time she maybe tried to show them to people. I don't know. There's not enough context for anything.
No,
I
Shiroi,
know,
they were
Shiroi, that's why I had
scared.
to fill in the context. Shiroi, that's why I'm trying to fill in the context for the game.
We shouldn't have to do this.
It's just.
Favorite.
Oh god, this game.
I have good news though. Chapter 4 is actually one of my favorites, at least in terms of music, if only just because of the music.
What about
also,
aside
yeah,
from the music? Do you like the story of Chapter 4?
Oh yeah, no, I do like the art direction of it as well.
No.
in
I was asking
particular.
the story of Chapter 4.
Oh, the story of Chapter 4 is one of the most harmless ones, if that helps.
I guess.
I mean, we have worse ones in this game.
I was gonna say, are there any that are just like oof?
Oh, yes, Shiroi, there are.
The Chapter 4 is called "The Boy Who Would Be One with the Wind."
Okay, good.
Basically, Shiroi, it's
Studio Ghibli title.
that's exactly it, Dribs. It's actually Yuji Naka homaging Studio Ghibli because the plot of Chapter 4 feels like it came straight out of an early Hayao Miyazaki film. Specifically, a boy who's in love with planes. Just like, I don't know, a lot of Hayao Miyazaki films because Hayao Miyazaki loves planes. Hayao Miyazaki would have sex with planes if he could.
So planes to Hayao Miyazaki are like
innocent-
what trains are to Makoto Shinkai.
Actually, the sky, more like. I
Yeah, I was gonna say the sky.
Well, the dude also has a thing for trains, as we saw, too.
Well, okay.
Well,
there
I
are-
mean, considering
there are-
considering the film I watched of his most recently, it sounds like he has a thing for train wrecks.
Trust me, Jova. Trust me, Jova. While it is true that there are quite a few number of trains in his movies, as Dutch just said, his latest film, his latest film has the most sky porn of all of them. So yeah, at this point, the sky is the undisputed winner.
Are you referring
Just
to
by
that
that
movie
movie
that
alone.
people
Sky's
apparently...
the limit.
Are you referring to that very mixed film? The one having to do with the sea and some apocalypse and water?
No, yeah, the girl who can control the weather. Yes. Let's just say that movie has a very terrible ending that left a horrible taste in my mouth. Sorry, Shinkai fans, but I still.
Well,
Honestly,
from what I've
Shinkai
heard,
fan,
even Shinkai fans apparently are split on that movie.
I do not know. I haven't checked. I'll just say this: 5 centimeters per second is still his best movie. Sorry. Anyway. And yeah, that was Balan Wonderworld. So, Liz, what did you learn today?
Really shitty lessons that I'll probably forget tomorrow.
Aw, what a shame. All right, everybody, tune in next time for The Boy Who Would Be One with the Wind.
See you next time.
Or it's more accurate name, the exact same shit you've been doing the past few levels.
See ya.
Right,
Twibs,
basically,
different
yes.
story and visuals.
Hey, it's just like a Shinkai thing. It's the exact same shit most of the time.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.